Catholic Family Podcast. And well, today I want to do something a little bit different and again, something that's new. And so probably will be a bit rough as it tends to be. But as you all probably know, I'm not very good at editing things myself. I do have a team of editors. Big shout out to CJ and my dad. You guys are awesome. Dan, you as well. You guys who do the grimy hard work behind the scenes that doesn't get the love. Thank you guys very much. Anyway, today I want to talk a little bit about the Fronleichnam procession we had yesterday. That is the Corpus Christi procession here in Germany. Of course, in Bavaria, we go to a little chapel, the chapel of the Immaculate Heart, or the Immaculate Conception, excuse me, in Oberdarching, Germany, a little tiny town out about 30 minutes south of Munich. That's run by Father Johannes Heine. He was ordained by Bishop Mark Pavrunas back in 2007, I believe. Great priest, good friend as well. And really what I wanted to talk about today, while I'm going to show some of the pictures and videos of the event, just because you want to see more than hear my stupid voice. But I just can't express how amazing of a day it was. And just the event as a whole. We were there from 8 in the morning until 8 p.m. and that was just me. Some of the people who were there helping out and putting out the flower carpets, building up the altars, were there from around, I think, 5 a.m. until 8 p.m. and onwards. So really an amazingly long day. And a huge shout out to Matthias. I know he's a listener of this show. Matthias, you did an incredible job, and it's your vision that made this happen. And your oomph, the wanting this to be done and wanting it to be done well and wanting it to be big. And that's really my idea for the podcast, if you want to call it, is because a few people had an idea and wanted to do something big and thought, why not try it? Let's see how it goes. Let's aim for something huge. Let's outdo what we could even imagine. And it all worked out, I think, more beautiful than many of us even imagined. From the altars to the serving, the ceremony itself. Of course, the flower carpets were incredible. The choir was amazing. People traveled from different countries to come to be part of this, to sing in the choir. Practiced, at home. Came an extra day early just to be there for choir practice. That's obviously near and dear to my heart. And really, I just can't say enough how everyone came together and made this happen. And I know you guys, a lot of you probably don't really, whatever, Kevin, we're not there, but I just can't express enough how important it is to aim big, be better and bigger and do things. I really, our faith is so beautiful, even in its simplest form. As we see with the martyrs and with really how many of us have lived for the last decades. But it can offer so much. That the liturgy of the church is just magnificent. It's gorgeous. It's the most beautiful thing on earth. And the traditions of the faith and the church gives us so much beauty. I mean, I'm still kind of in awe of what I witnessed yesterday. And I think most people who are there are as well. And it sticks with you. And I think the children who are there to witness it will stick with them maybe the rest of their lives. I know my wife says that when she was a young girl, that she still has memories from when she was a young girl and when she witnessed these Corpus Christi processions. So again, my main message is to do big. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to really aim high. And I got to give some shout outs as we get going here. I hope this all works. Here is our good friend, Christian, on the organ, practicing after a hard day's work out in the hot sun. It's another one of those things that anyone who sings in the choir understands what it takes to put in the effort to learn new things. We sang the Missa Brevis from Palestrina, Ave Verum from Bird, which was new for almost everybody. Adoramus te Christe, Jesu Rex Admirabili. So a lot of Palestrina. I'm a little biased towards Palestrina. What can I say? And it was really amazing. And again, shout out to the choir who spent so much time learning it all. And here you see the beginnings of one of the carpets. And I'm pretty sure I heard that these ladies were up at 5 or 5:30 in the morning of of Corpus Christi out to put out these flower carpets. You can see a little bit in their faces that they they have an early morning. Hopefully they also had some coffee. I don't know, but just amazing again, just what they were willing to do. We had WhatsApp groups, or we had meetings where it's like, okay, who's going to do what? And so many volunteers and so many people willing to sacrifice their time and effort, and to give their skills. I mean, how important is that? I mean, to provide their God-given talents and use that for the greater glory of God. I mean, what do we talk about, semi constantly on this show? And another one I really have to shout out is Maria. Um, I don't think she listens to this podcast because she doesn't speak a whole lot of English, but Maria did an amazing job with all the organization for the flowers. In Germany, and I believe in Austria as well, if you listen to my mom's podcast that Maria von Trapp wrote, they really, one of the primary focuses of this feast in Germany and Austria, at least, is flowers. And so they have obviously the flower carpets, as you saw, and they also have a procession with the flower girls and flower boys in our case, because we don't have all that many children, though actually more than I even expected. It had to have been 30 or 40 children. Just amazing. Another one of those just beautiful things that here in Germany, that is an amazing thing to see. But anyway, the flowers were just gorgeous. I know many companies, or several companies, donated them when they heard that it was for Corpus Christi. Another thing that just speaks to, why people do this. What's it all about? And in Bavaria, it may not be a Catholic country or Catholic state in terms of morality or how people actually live, but they definitely still have the heart. There's a very, very good Catholic tradition that still exists. Now, as we look at some of these finished flower carpets, as you probably hear my son screaming in the background, it's bedtime. Sorry about that. And this was this was a little more simple one, but one of the beautiful things, the story I heard about this was, as you see that sandbox right behind the altar, there were a couple of children there. As the procession came up, their mother was talking to them, and someone overheard one of the children say, "Mama, can we build an altar in our backyard now?" Um, Again, I mean, it almost brings you to tears, right? And that's just an incredible thing. I mean, how much do these types of events have an impact on the minds of a child? Just the beauty of it, the pageantry of it, the solemnity of it is just, it's just unbelievable. And then to see again the flowers, it just adds a whole nother level of it for me. Here was the second one, the Pie Pelicane. I actually wondered about that for many years. I'd sung the words in hymns before, and I actually honestly didn't know why we sang Pie Pelicane, but I learned that it's because pelicans actually would take from their own flesh, as you see in this picture, and feed their starving children with it. So a symbol of our Lord, of course. But beautifully done. Again, just the time spent on this, you can see it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's just unbelievable. A huge shout out again to the ladies who got up and took their time to build that. This one was my favorite. Again, just look at the detail. Just and I know you can't see the altars as well. I didn't get close-ups on the altar as much as I should have, because I was trying to get the carpets in as well. I didn't take the pictures, but I mean the pictures I chose. And shout out to Marcus, the photographer, also. Um, but the altars were also just beautifully done, put together by Matthias and a couple other guys, and just came together. Really, we had materials coming in from all across Germany, also from Austria, I think also perhaps from Switzerland. Really a team effort, and on the day of, it just came together to be just a wonderful, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that puzzle, all the pieces came together, and it just turned into this amazingly beautiful event. And here are a couple images of our little chapel here in Darching. Of course, what it's all about, the Holy Mass. That does bring me to, I'm going to play a clip. We only have about a minute of some of the choir, but really, again, that was the soft spot for me, and it turned out so well. I think we didn't get much recorded because we were, not really focused on recording it. But I love this part that was recorded, because at the end, it's the, I believe in one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, and I think that's a wonderful thing and a simple thing, but that is what we believe, and that is how we have to remember who we are as Catholics.
Spiritum Sanctum Dominum et vivificantem, qui ex Patre Filio procedi, qui cum Pater Filio Simon adoratur, et cum glorificatur, qui locutus est per et unam sanctam catholicam et apostolicam ecclesiam, confiteor unum baptisma in remissionem peccatorum.
And the screaming in the background, it kind of gets me every time. I don't know if you heard that on this one, but yeah, that was a little part of a credo, actually, not part of the Missa Brevis. We didn't have time to learn the credo, unfortunately. Maybe next time. But the credo was actually written by my brother, Father Philip, so I have to brag a little bit. It's actually, or it's a reformed version of the recited credo that kind of fits in with the Palestrina Missa Brevis. Beautiful. And for anyone who wants to hear it again, we're hoping to sing the Missa Brevis at our summer fest after the pilgrimage to Altötting on September 7th and 8th. So we're going to have a pilgrimage September 7th and 8th, and then we will, that's in Bavaria, and we'll drive down kind of southwest towards the Bodensee, so the Lake Constance. And there we will have a summer fest on the Saturday, that's on the 9th. And then on the Sunday, we will sing a high mass. Hopefully Missa Brevis if we have enough people, and maybe Ave Verum and other beautiful things. So, and in a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful church. We've posted some music before from that church. The Anima Christi we published a few weeks ago. That is from the Franziskanerkirche in Überlingen. So if you can be there for the pilgrimage, definitely do so. Email me right now, because registration is going to end here fairly soon. Kevin89davis@gmail.com. Kevin8989davis@gmail.com. Anyway, a couple more pictures. And I think I still have a video. Oh, I don't know did I load the video? I think I did. Let me see. See, this is always a Kevin issue, guys. You should know this by now. Let me see. There we go. I think that's it. No, and again, some of these pictures really, if you haven't been here or don't know much about the German Catholic world, it's hard to see how amazing this image is. Just how long it is. It's really impressive how many people. I think I couldn't tell you how many. I think it was around 100, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And it was just, it's not something that we see that often. We don't have that big of gatherings here normally. I think it's happened before, obviously, and I hope it happens again, but it's not common. It's not common to have that many children and that many men and that many women and several seminarians as well. And that was a really impactful thing, just to see how our faith is alive and to see the growing faith with so many children. Just amazing amount of children that were there for this. And let me see if I can get the right video here. There's always something. I think that one's not it. As I wait for that, here's another picture. I didn't get too many of the procession, but Beautiful day. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, I know that Americans do obviously a lot of these things. I've been part of them for the Corpus Christi processions. Many of the churches do it in, they do it in their own backyards, kind of, in their own properties. What I love about what we did this year, and this is the first time we've ever done it in Darking, in our parish, and that was to go through the village, really, the village proper. And I was able to talk with several of the villagers who were not part of the procession and not part of the parish, and they were really impressed and really happy to see it. And I think it kind of validated our quote unquote group in their eyes, and they saw that, wow, this isn't a joke, this isn't a weird little cult in a living room. And I think that's a pretty neat thing, as I see that we have run out of room to load videos. But just a wonderful, wonderful time, and just the backdrop. I mean, the images. It's just, I hope you get to see a little bit of how special this day really was. Let me see if I can at least get. No, that's it gives you a little bit of a little glimpse. I mean, you had horns, you had trumpets in the background, while the rest of the people sang the hymns that were played. The rosary was said in between the hymns. There were bells ringing. Of course, the Holy Eucharist in procession underneath the canopy. Just awesome. Again, I hope the videos and the photos, spoke for themselves. But I think that again, my message for it is to think big, dream big, do big, and I think really look at what the Catholic Church has given us: the liturgies, the practices, the pilgrimages, and let's as parishes not be afraid to try it. Now, obviously, it has to come to your priest, of course, but I really think many times the priest just needs someone else to take a lot of it under, on their own backs, because the priests have so much going on. They have so much to do. They don't have time to dream up a big Corpus Christi procession often, or to do something different, or to add flower carpets. So we have to do that. And, flower carpets sound like, okay, maybe it's a silly addition, but I really think it's a wonderful addition. It adds that color, and adds just that extra little, spice to it. Beautiful. And that's what the church gives us. They give us that. The church is a loving mother. As the loving mother, she wants us to be happy. And that's what's provided through the church. And I think that, again, you of course find that in even your simple prayers, the rosary. You find that at the mass every time you go, even if it's in a hotel room. But I think in our times now, we are growing. We are in a different era where we can think big, dream big, do big. And I hope and pray that God will help us do so. And I hope to see some of you all at the pilgrimage again in September 7th and 8th, here near Munich. So if you are flying in, I think you would want to fly into Munich. Again, contact me, kevin89davis@gmail.com. And hopefully next year we'll again do Corpus Christi, maybe not in Darking, but we will hopefully do it somewhere else. And maybe we'll do it bigger, and maybe we'll be there. God bless you.